All right, Clarissa. I think today the focus will really be on starting to get into some of those parenting strategies. So we've spent the last 2 sessions really getting a sense of what's going on for you and also some of those difficulties you've had with Oliver, particularly around those temper tantrums. And now we're really going to focus in on some strategies regarding parenting, particularly looking at some issues like how we can use things like descriptive praise in order to help Ollie a little bit more.
Right.
So that's going to be the agenda today. Okay. How does that sound to you?
I just don't really understand why, I guess, I'm here.
Okay.
If, like, obviously Ollie's the one that's got the issue, sorry.
You're right.
You know, why we don't just bring him here and you can kind of deal with him directly. Like, I just feel like going through me, I don't see how this is going to help. Like, I feel like what I do with him at home, like, I feel like I'm doing everything right.
Yeah.
You know, I've taken on board what we've spoke about the last few times. I just feel like I'm here again with you. Like, I feel like, why isn't Ollie here with you instead? You know, like working directly with him rather than with me. I just don't see the point in it.
Sorry, just to make sure I'm on the same page as you, it's a case of you think it'd be perhaps better if I was spending time with Oliver instead of you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think I'm pretty kind of doing everything right, and I don't think I've got the issues, if you know what I mean. I know I don't, but he's one with the crazy behaviour, and I feel like, you know, you working with him directly will be more effective than trying to, like, you know, work by me. Yeah. You know, I just don't see the point in that.
Okay. I mean, if I was to work with Ollie, how do you think that would perhaps help in the situation?
I guess, you know, you might be able to talk to him. Like, I feel like he just doesn't even listen to me. Okay. You know, like when he's playing up, Oliver, like he just doesn't stop. Yeah. He hits his brothers and sisters. Like, I just feel like that keeps going. Yeah. And, you know, when his father was around, you know, he used to definitely bring in the discipline, I guess, and not having that anymore. Yeah. You know, he just runs riot. Yeah. And I feel like I can't really do much. But, you know, when you speak to him, maybe you might be able to kind of get to him more directly. He might listen to you being a male. Okay. I don't know.
Okay. I mean, if I were to work, just say, with you, though, what emotions come up for you thinking of going down that track?
Well, I just feel like we're going to get a little bit off topic. You know, like I feel like maybe you're basically saying that it's because of me that Ollie's the way he is, when like I really don't think that's the case. I think it's just his personality. He's just like that, and I guess the stuff that he's had to go through with his dad and stuff. I don't know.
So it's a sense of, if we were to work, say, on parenting, it's a sense of that I'm kind of perhaps seeing the problem as being more you as to why Ollie's having these difficulties with
I feel like talking about that more rather than his behaviour directly, but talking about me, like how I'm dealing with it and where that's coming from. And I feel like we're getting a bit off tangent, and like, I don't need therapy. Yeah, you know?
Yeah. So it's a case of, at this point in time, I don't need the therapy. Ollie's the one who needs the help, because he's the one with all the problems with the temper tantrum.
Exactly.
And at the same time, though, there's been a difficulty around the fact that, you know, the husband's no longer in the picture, and he was the disciplinarian, from what you were saying. Exactly. And so there is some struggle there as well. So there's some difficulty around not having that person there. And is it right there, when you were sort of talking about that you sometimes are unsure on how to manage it?
Yeah, I guess, you know, I just do the best that I can.
Yes, of course.
And it's just so tiring. You know, like, how many times can you tell him to stop climbing up the walls, you know, like it just... so I guess it is difficult. Like, I feel like I try to do the right thing.
Yes,
you know,
of course, yes.
But that it's just not getting anywhere. And then I'm worrying that us spending time and having these sessions, like... You know, I'm not doing it right. Maybe it's better if you just get to him directly. Yeah.
I mean, and you clearly care about Ollie, hence why you're here.
Of course.
You know, to really do something, you know, to help with what's going on at the moment. So, I guess the expectation from your end is perhaps to work with Ollie, and then that will resolve how he's going?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess there is the opportunity of working with Ollie. I think if I was to work with Ollie, what might start to happen is he comes in, I work with him, but then he goes home and I'm not there. So it's a case of we could do some things together with Ollie and we might see some improvements. But just say if Ollie has a temper tantrum at home, or there's another instance where he's perhaps, playing aggressively with his toys, I'm not going to be at home in order to help manage that situation. We're going to try to give Ollie, some tools, but at the same time, Ollie's a kid. He's only 5. And so we can look at giving him a couple of things. But long term, how well he's going to continue to use those is going to be difficult. I think perhaps an alternative, and it is an alternative, and often it's the case of a lot of parents come in and the folks say, hey, let's get rocking and rolling, with the kids. Certainly that would be perhaps my impression as well. An alternative approach is rather give you all the perhaps skills that I would have so that when you're at home, you don't need me there. It's a case of you've got some more skills in order to help with what's going on with Ollie. Because Ollie's the type of kid at the moment who's got some difficulties with his behaviours. Yeah. There's no doubt about that. And you're there for him and you're trying your very best. Ollie's one of those kids where we need the parent not only to be there and be caring, but they need to have a hell of a lot of skill sets up their sleeves as well. Mm-hmm. And parenting isn't one of those things that just comes absolutely naturally. I mean, it's one of those things where it can be a real struggle and it's a lot of perhaps sometimes trial and error. So it's a case of, I think the alternative that we could go down is looking at really giving you a suite of strategies. Some of them that you already do, and you already do well, but others on giving you some more, perhaps, tools in that toolkit in order to help with Ollie. Because Ollie's one of those kids that he needs the best in order to help manage the situation. So what I'm proposing is, what if we were to first work a little bit together, and it's about giving you just a few more options when working with Ollie at home, and see how that goes. And then after a couple of sessions, we can review that. Yeah. And if we're not really seeing anything, we can revise what we're doing. Yeah. I mean, how does that sound to you?
Yeah, I think I can see where you're coming from now. I mean, it makes sense, the fact that I'm the one that's at home with him. Yeah. And maybe I give up on the strategies too quickly, because I feel like I'm not his dad, so I don't have that enforcing kind of power to really make them work. But perhaps if I had a bit more confidence in myself and being able to do them at home, and he might start listening to me, Sure. If we could get somewhere, then obviously I can see how that will benefit.
I mean, that would be great. And I mean, there are so many things you are doing really well.